Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And in this series we're going to be going over Saturn in the houses, okay? Saturn in the houses. And in this episode we're going to be talking about the second house, okay? So having Saturn in your second house, all right? And before we go over that, I just want to let you guys know to check out my music video. If you enjoyed the little promo in the beginning of this video, that is my music. Definitely check it out. I have all the links in the description box below. I'll definitely appreciate that. But yes, Saturn in the second house. And before we get into that, let's just understand what Saturn is in the second house. You know, Saturn is the planet of discipline, the planet of structure, the planet of hardcore reality, okay? Saturn's all about working hard and building. There's a reason why we have this in this world. Everything we do, all the physical things you see, the buildings, the books, the technology, the homes, the houses, everything physical, the cars, all of this was built. This is through work and through labor. And this is Saturn. Saturn deals with discipline, construction, building, okay, responsibility, work, labor, okay? All the disciplines and restrictions that you get in life deal with Saturn, okay? Especially on a practical level. Saturn's trying to build you, trying to get you to be responsible, trying to get you also to grow your career and your purpose and to manifest something physically in this reality, okay? This is physical, so your legacy, what you're leaving down on here, what is your job here? What did you do here? What is your purpose? What are you here to do? This is Saturn. And in order to tap into this, you need to tap into your discipline, okay? You need to work, okay? Saturn's like the big mountain that you gotta climb to finally get to the top. That's why it deals with your career, because we work and we build to get there. And then you have the second house. The second house deals with our security, our stability, our finances, our money, what we have, okay? So our house, our cars, our money, okay? How we're able to survive in this world physically with money, our finances, our physical possessions, things that we own, okay? How we feel stable and secure in this physical reality, okay? It's ruled by Taurus, okay? So that's the second house. So the first thing I can say with Saturn in the second house, people, is you're gonna have lots of restrictions, okay, when it comes to money, okay? Finances, things that you possess and own. Lots of, discipline and restrictions here, okay? It comes in so many forms, okay? You could have been raised with a family that was very strict on money, so it kind of changed your mentality on money. You could have had a lack of money, dealing with lacks of money, not ever having enough. Your finances getting, messed up, or, not having enough. Even your physical possessions, things that you own, your clothes, maybe you didn't have a lot of clothes, growing up or something like that, or you had to share, or there was just restrictions, you just didn't get enough. What you have was never there. You never, you didn't have enough, you never had enough money or stuff like that, Saturn's second house, it puts a lot of restrictions in your finances because it's trying to discipline you here. Okay, that's another thing. Saturn's very karmic. It shows where you need discipline. So you need discipline when it comes to your finances, but most importantly, what you have and what you value and what you have, if you even believe in past lives, like this could be an example, maybe you come from a past life of like splurging all your money, you were so rich and you didn't care a thing and you never had discipline with money, and it could have made you greedy, it could have made you very irresponsible, and it made you, not be able to really rely on yourself because you got to make money. So how are you spending it like that? So in this lifetime, you got Saturn in your second house, and now you got to be more disciplined with your money. You got to take it more seriously. So Saturn's taking it away. Saturn's, and this could be like in your early life, like, again, like, you don't get all the money, you don't get all the big allowances, money is hard to make and get. All of this is to discipline you to take money and finances seriously. Saturn in the second house does not mean that you're gonna be broke all your life. No, Saturn is never, and I have to repeat this, Saturn is never giving you these restrictions and limitations just to, splatter you, just to get rid of you. It's trying to make you serious and responsible of whatever it's restricting. So when it comes to your finances, your possessions, what you have, you need to take that more seriously. You need to be more responsible. Saturn second house people need to learn how to save. Okay, they need to learn how to save. They need to work hard for their money too. So you could even Saturn second house, maybe you start working and you're making very little money, and the universe is giving you little money so that you know how to handle it. Okay, it's not going to give you big money yet. It's restricting your money because you need to learn how to handle it. So you're going to be given little money, and you're going to go through lots of situations where you don't have enough and you have to save and you have to make sacrifices, and you can't just get everything. So much of that is going to be pushed onto you. Even if you're younger and you don't have money yet, it could just be, your possessions, what your parents are willing to give to you. They can be very strict when it comes to money, or giving you things, giving you toys or something. You have a limited amount. Okay, all of that is discipline, because you need discipline when it comes to your possessions, what you have. You need to be more responsible. Saving is so important with Saturn in the second house, okay? Very important, being responsible with your money. And not even just saving, but also making sacrifices with your money. You're not going to be able to get everything, okay? So you got to make smart decisions, and you got to purchase and make purchases that are very valuable and very responsible. You can't just splurge your money on like going on shopping sprees with Saturn in the second house. It's just not going to happen. You have to discipline yourself. And what happens is when you discipline yourself, okay, you actually take the lessons of Saturn. You discipline yourself. You save your money. You make sacrifices. You only pay the things that you need to pay. You save up, you do these things, Saturn starts blessing you. That's how it works. Saturn starts blessing you. Just like we said, Saturn in the first house, you might start off like feeling like an ugly duckling, and then you get older and you sprout into this beauty. It's the same thing with here, Saturn in the second house. Starting off with no money, your job sucks, it doesn't pay you that much, but because you're taking the responsibility, because you are working on your finances and being responsible and disciplined with them, you start getting blessings. You'll get a better job. You'll get more money. In fact, you'll start seeing your savings and you'll start saying, hey, this saving stuff is working. Like, I actually have money now. So yes, Saturn in the second house is definitely going to put lots of restrictions on your finances. It's not fun, okay? It's not fun. However, it is here to discipline you, and it's not forever. If you take these lessons, you'll get better, trust me. Also, with Saturn in the second house, a lot of these people are really unimpressed with like money. So basically, money becomes so discouraging, especially in the beginning of their lives, because it's so limited, and just having things in general, that they don't really, Saturn kind of sucks out all the glamour in money with this placement. People with this placement, they take money seriously because of what they went through. So they're not going to care about the little stuff. They're not really going to be materialistic at all, okay? They haven't had the experience to be materialistic, okay? So they're not really big on money. They're not money hungry. They don't love money. Saturn in the second house, they don't really love money. They love responsibility, what you can do with your money, okay? I made enough money now I can buy my own home. Now I can buy my car. Saturn in the second house, these are like big purchases, responsible purchases, very stable purchases. So Saturn in the second house, they're really about the bigger picture, and they're really about being able to sustain their reality and their security. Okay, because when you have a lack of money, there's a lack of security, And these people could feel insecure. These people could have even dealt with poverty, So they're not too materialistic. It's not about getting that nice watch or that glamorous ring. It's about being able to make a living for yourself, sustain yourself, buying the nice home. But it's about the big purchases. It's about the bigger picture. They're not going to be into the little details that much. They're kind of like that glamorous approach to money. Saturn kind of sucks that out of you. So you're not really, a lot of Saturn second house people, might depend on how it's aspected, but Saturn second house people are not materialistic. They're not really easily phased by it. It was never an aspect that they had to deal with in your life. So also with Saturn in the second house, because you're dealing with restrictions with money, it can also lead to like being stingy with your money. And this could be good and bad, okay? Saturn second house, you really should not be giving out your money. You really shouldn't. Like people asking for your money, you just giving things out. You shouldn't. You don't really have that much, so you really should not be giving out money like that. However, it could get to the darker and more negative side where you become very like cheap and stingy. You don't want to get to that side. You want it to be about responsibility. okay? I'm not giving out money or spending out money or doing this because I need to be responsible, and I need to make sure I can pay my bills and make sure I can sustain myself. Okay, and because I have Saturn here, I'm not being given all this money like that. Okay, so with this placement, but with this placement, it can get to the more negative side where you're super duper cheap. So the Saturn energy could have traumatized you, and you become super cheap and super stingy. You don't want to pay for anything. When you buy stuff, it's like the cheapest stuff. Like, you have to relax with that too, because Saturn wants you to be responsible. It wants you to be responsible. It doesn't want you to be cheap. Okay, Saturn's big energy. It's not cheap. Okay, so, but sometimes it can get to the negative side where people feel so kind of broke that they become very stingy and insecure with their money, and that being cheap and stuff like that, that's the stinginess. That's coming from an insecurity. There's a difference between being responsible, okay, and not handing out your money because you need to be responsible, versus being just plain cheap or stingy, okay? Saturn in second house, you want to, make purchases that are of good value, okay? You don't want to make cheap purchases, okay? You're not really getting things of good value, and that's kind of, it goes against what Saturn's trying to do. Saturn's trying to get you responsible, but it's not trying to make you cheap. So definitely focus on that. Build your value. Don't get to the point where you're so scarred of this lack of money or obstacles with your money that you're now stingy. You can't give out anything, and you can't spend on anything, and the things you do get have no value. I mean, that's a negative side, and that's reinforcing the value issues here. So it could go both ways. It could be very irresponsible or too stingy. Okay, so balance it out here with Saturn. Also, not just with your money, but Saturn in the second house, you can have issues with your possessions, like things that you have. Like, you can have trouble like keeping on to them. You can lose lots of stuff, like your clothes, you'll have them, and then you start losing stuff, or you have a limited amount. It seems like you just can't get a hold off of your possessions, things that you have. They just seem to lose. And again, that's like that Saturn energy kind of disciplining you with restricting, your possessions and what you have, so that you're not so attached to them, and also so that you're also responsible with them and that you can value them. So you can feel like a lot of your possessions are being lost here. Like, you can't hang on to anything. You have something and then you lose it. You had these and then you lost some of them, or over time you start losing them. Like, be more responsible with your possessions, value them more. Saturn's teaching you how to value your possessions, what you have, just like it is with your finances. Also, with Saturn in the second house, you really got to tap into your career if you want to make money, okay? Saturn rules your career, your big job here. So whatever it is in your chart is going to represent how you should approach your career. And being the second house deals with our security, our stability. You really want to tap into your career, the bigger project you have in life, if you want to make the most money. Saturn wants you to be responsible and work, okay? Get a big job, figure out your purpose, put your energy into your work so that you can make the most money. You'll tap into the most money here. Second house deals with your money, that's your finances. This is the money house. So you got Saturn in here. You definitely need to be responsible, but you should also, the responsibility deals with tapping into your career, not just any job. Saturn second house, you're not going to make the most money if you're just working a regular type of job. You need to be ambitious, okay? You need to go for your career, go for your purpose, go for the big jobs, go for the big projects, do big work to make the most money. Because Saturn second house, you can really manifest a lot of money, okay? Once we get into the later half, especially you get into your Saturn return, by then you will be tapping into your career. Lots of times people get into their 20s, that's when they're working on getting into their career. So by the time you hit your Saturn return, you can really start making big loads of money, okay? Like I said, Saturn is trying to improve wherever it's at. I know it seems like it's restricting and it's killing, but it's to make you be responsible, okay? If you put in the work, Okay, you will make lots of money, especially once you reach your Saturn return, which is like in your late 20s, your 30s. You'll start making big money. But tap into your career. Go for the big positions. Go for the big job. Create your own business. Whatever it is you want to do, your purpose, your big projects, tap into those. That's how you're going to make the best money. And Saturn will make you rich. Okay, you're gonna be like, Saturn is like that. It's almost like a Cinderella type of story. It's like you started from rags, then you went to riches. Saturn's second house is definitely a rags to riches energy. It's deeper than just your physical possessions, your self-esteem. Okay, our values are based off of our self-esteem. What we have is honestly based on our self-esteem and what we think we deserve to have. Okay, it's not just physical and money. A lot of times what people have is what they believe they should have. So with Saturn's second house here, you have to improve your self-worth. Once you learn how to discipline your self-values, but once you learn how to discipline your money, you know how to be responsible with it, you also have to work on your value, your self-esteem, and what you believe you deserve. If you have a stronger self-esteem, if you believe you are deserving of having these things, it'll be so much easier to attract them. So at some point, you're supposed to develop this, okay? These obstacles are supposed to help develop your value. Have a strong self-worth, okay? Have strong self-worth. Saturn is big energy. It wants you to tap into your career, the biggest money you can possibly make. But you need self-worth. You have to feel like you deserve it. Okay, and it can sometimes when you're dealing with Saturn in the beginning, you can feel like you don't deserve anything, but that's just the obstacles you're going through to build that responsibility. Once you start getting responsible, you start handling your money. Start handling your self-worth, your value, and what you feel like you deserve to have. Because I'm telling you, Saturn and second house people, they could get really responsible with money, but still not treat themselves. You know, they'll have so much money and still not treat themselves, still feel like they don't have enough. And it's like you made it already, but because of all that you went through with Saturn, it's like you're almost kind of like traumatized. I wouldn't say traumatized, but you're almost like strongly influenced by those obstacles you went through with money, that now it's like you just afraid to like spend or make any type of like purchases as well too, but you also feel like you don't deserve certain things, or certain things are too much. Work on your value. You deserve all of these things. Work on your self-esteem, because that's what Saturn wanted you to do. Saturn was always going to give you what you need. You just had to work on it. So don't get lost into this idea that I don't deserve anything or this is too much for you, because you will block your blessings that way too. So yes, that is Saturn in the second house. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Very challenging placement, but it's really here to build you. You will make lots of money. Tap into your career, work hard, and be responsible with your money. Okay, this is just a discipline. Saturn has you and will protect you, and you will make big money. And also work on your self-value too. I know you had restrictions, but you deserve all these things. You just needed the responsibility and the discipline so that you can properly make them the most money and value it properly. So that is Saturn in the second house. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And if you did, book a reading with me. I do astro, natal chart readings, as well as tarot. All you gotta do is email me and we could go forward with that. And also check out my music. All the links will be in the description box below. And I'll check you guys out on the next episode.